Hey there, guys. So Tim here. Um, going to start basically what we're going to cover today. I just want to get right into it. Don't want to do a whole lot of small talk here. Just get right into it and get the information over to you guys so you can get started right away. So some things we'll be covering. Again, we'll go over a company overview of Udemable. Definitely diving into the competition. Give you a little more information on Groupon, some information that can be valuable to you. And you should also be doing your own research on your own as well. Definitely want to dive into some of the feedback Groupon's been getting from merchants who are very dissatisfied with the services. And also the direction of the company Groupon's heading in. Definitely go over our competitive advantages, my experience with Groupon, and what reason behind diving into this project and trying to get Udemable in the position it's in. Definitely covering our merchants and some of the things we'll be providing for them and the differences and all that. Our marketing plan, strategy, excuse me. Definitely covering sales and diving into the importance of that and covering the script. And then wrapping it up with your role, your role in all of this and the importance it plays and how you should be viewing it and going about doing so. So let's get right into it. Udemable, right? Whole intent and purpose behind this name is branding purposes. What do you do when you come to the site? You purchase something. What do you do after you purchase it? You redeem it. You use it. It's about you. Okay, we want to make the site about the people who are involved, the merchant, the customer, at the end of the day. So how did I get started on this whole idea? Which that's what it was. 2018, early 2018, I had this idea. We sort of incorporated. I say we, myself and Raphael, who was another person on board this venture. We had a marketing business, web design, and we sort of incorporated the idea as sort of an extension, adding it on sort of as a product that we could add to our services and gain interest. We never really pursued it. Our focus was strictly on the marketing and web design, and it sort of sat on the back burner. We never did anything with it. That company is now dissolved, and now my full attention is on Udemable. Excuse me. So the idea sort of came about as I was a merchant on Groupon. Very bad experience. I'll go over that shortly. And I wanted a better avenue for people to get their brand, their business, their products, their services out there without spending so much money. Right? A small business doesn't have that kind of capital, and marketing companies don't really consider that. Right? They add a lot of zeros, and nobody really knows if it's working. Right? It's one of those industries you have to know a heck of a lot about to even understand it. And small businesses they don't have the time. They don't want to hear it. Right? You got mom and pops that don't want to change. They don't want to do anything differently. And they don't have that kind of money to spend. So I wanted to bring something to the table that can help them, help a wide array of small businesses at the same time. So that pretty much covers the whole business aspect. Well, the idea aspect of everything. We'll dive into the business aspect, but that sort of covers, why I got started, what the whole purpose of this business is. So what I want to talk about now is our competitor, who we're up against, right? I want to be the direct competitor to Groupon. I want to dominate to the point where there is no competition. But they're the people that are standing in our way, and they have the clients and the merchants that we want to take on, right? We want to approach them and figure out a way to bring them on board and help them understand that we can do it better, right? So Groupon was founded back in November of 2008 in Chicago. The founders are Andrew Mason, Eric Levosky, and Brad Keywell. Those are the original founders. And the first offer was actually, it was a 2-for-1 slice of pizza at a hotel in Chicago. And I guess it ran pretty popular, and they sort of ran with it. And that also started as sort of a side project. They didn't anticipate to get that big. In 2017, their revenue was around $2.84 billion. And they have 6,000 plus employees as it stands today. And they purchased Living Social, who was their direct competitor back in November of 2016. So not that long ago. I definitely believe they were trying to, because I think Living Social came on board and they were charging merchants 40%, and Groupon wanted to get them out of the way. But they actually still run the Living Social site. So Groupon, if you see, they're actually, two businesses operating as one. Direction of the company for them, it seems, I don't know. There's a lot of news online that you can find that sort of doesn't have a lot of hope for them in the future. And they're not really doing anything to adapt or change to the criticism. They're kind of just running with it because I don't think there's anyone that's coming up that they're worried about, hurting them, and they still have a lot of businesses that they haven't probably called or know about the service itself. So there's still a lot of business opportunity for them, but they're going to have to do something to change what they're doing currently, because they're gaining a lot of negative feedback. So what are some of these merchants saying? These are just some, I have Facebook ads from them targeting me. So constantly, I'm always updating my screenshots, and I'm able to see what people are saying. And these are just some examples here. I see Rich, I won't buy anything on Groupon because it really is not helping that business owner. Right? I don't know if he's a business owner or if he's just a customer, but he knows about it. He knows what they're doing, right? You got Nick D. Silva. Never do it for your business or yourself unless you want to work as a slave. You do not make money at all, and also don't retain clients. So what they're saying is there's no repeat business. You're getting the deal, right, shopper. So Groupon sort of created this new customer with these offers that they're promoting. They think they view valued work and services or products as cheap because of this now. And now they want this deal. They're always shopping for the next deal. They pay for a $54 cleaning. Now who does it for $52? Who does it for $40 the next time? Right? So they're competing with each other, and they're always trying to get cheaper. And it's created this really aggressive bargain shopper, if you will. And it needs to come a time when there needs to be something from Groupon that says, hey, consumer, listen, you got to value your small businesses a little bit more than this. This is out of control. But they're creating this out of control animal. And Udemy is going to reshape that, and how the customer sort of values the small business and understands that, this is their lifeline. So that's what I want to create here. I want to create a new culture, if you will, of shopper. So moving forward, again, a little bit more on Groupon itself. So they'll take 50% per sale. So if you sell, for example, a $40 massage after the discount, so you'll sell the massage for $80. They want you to chop it in half at a discount rate of 50. So you're now offering your massage for $40, and they'll take 50 of that. So they'll take $20 off the top, leaving you with $20. And I don't believe a massage parlor in the United States can live off $20 for the hour. They have employees to pay. They have lights to keep on. It's not feasible. It's not possible. And I can tell you right now that customer is not going to come back and pay full price when they can get it on Groupon all day for $20. It's just not going to happen. Like I had mentioned, so depending on the service, depending on the product, Groupon's going to decide what your discount is. And they're going to tell you, you either do this or you don't sign up. You don't have any control over what your campaign or what your discounts, your promos, your coupons going to look like. You just don't. They do it. They tell you it's going to work. This is the best thing for you. Without any option, without any reasoning. They just tell you what is. And if you don't like it, you can take a hike. And the merchant really doesn't have any control over how long the campaign will last. I mean, you can call Groupon if you can get someone on the phone to cancel it. When I was running my campaign, it took about 4 or 5 months for people to stop finally calling me after trying to cancel it. So the merchant has no control. Zero. Difficult to cancel, like I mentioned. You can't get someone on the phone. I think they took their phone number down. So similar to being a Uber or Lyft driver, it's very hard to get some customer service on the phone because they don't want to deal with the problem. They just don't want to deal with it. And they'll run your campaign without permission. So I had one campaign running for a 2-hour cleaning. They ended up running another campaign. I think it was for some additional service where people were calling me on, and I never granted them access to that. They just did it anyway. And the reason being is, well, we figured that, you wanted additional services to run so you have more opportunity to drive business. And I said, well, I can't live off what I'm already doing for you guys, and I can't manage another phone ringing from a different type of customer. It just wasn't feasible. So that ties into the poor merchant services, right? Not understanding, not having empathy. Empathy is huge here. You have to understand the small business before you're trying to partner with them and create something for them that's going to end up being a disaster rather than a service. And what I gathered from my time there was I had 0 repeat business. So I even went as far as offering, hey, I'll do it for the same price, lifetime. And I still wouldn't, because they're going on now. They want to see if they can save an additional $5. They want to continue to save. And these people, they're not getting cleanings done all the time. There's nothing driving them to become a loyal customer. So I had a cleaning and maintenance company from 2015 to 2018. I was a merchant on Groupon for about 8 months. With my campaign ending, it was probably closer to about 1.5 years because I continued to get phone calls and it just wouldn't stop. So this is how my offer looked. Typically, I would charge for a 2-hour cleaning about $100. They said, we're going to cut that down to $54 for 2 hours. And they take 50% of that. I was left with $27. And you deduct expenses. You got to travel, you got to go out there, cleaning supplies, so roughly around $9. So I was left with $18, making $9 per hour being self-employed. Now, $9 an hour self-employed makes it seem like a job sounds a whole lot better, right? But here's the thing. Here's the game. The amount of volume that I was getting was crazy. So it was hard to schedule anything because these people would redeem, a day or two before, and I was extremely busy. But at the same time, doing 4 cleanings a day for Groupon left me no time to add any additional services while having to also do my commercial accounts at night that I had, on my own. So that was keeping me afloat. But these day cleanings were basically just, I was working for somebody. That's what they create. They create basically a subcontractor they're paying dirt cheap. And I couldn't do it anymore. So Udeemable. So I want to go over the competitive advantages of what we're going to do differently and sort of how we're going to approach this. So I came up with the idea for an annual fee because our commission fee is so cheap. But I want to incorporate the annual fee until our merchants are profitable. What I've gathered from people is small businesses especially, they have no problem paying for something if they see value and they're going to see themselves making money from it. So what I would like to do is run an annual fee for about $79, but I'm going to waive it for the first 2 years for the first 200 customers, for the first 200 merchants, excuse me, combined with taking our 15% commission fee per sale. And it's okay to tell, if they ask, where's the money going? I asked Groupon and they said, well, it's acquiring customers. It's not. It's making a tremendous amount of profit on a marketplace that, already has the traffic that you're not paying for. And if you do, you're paying for it almost as a community. So there's bits and pieces coming from every merchant on the site that you're taking 50% from. So 15%, we're not going to make much money in the beginning. But once we have the traffic, we're going to be making money. And we're going to keep the merchant happy because they're going to still be profitable. And they can design their sales and their promos and their coupons the way they want to. We just make recommendation. We say, hey, this has worked in the past. If you want to run it like this, you give it a shot, see how long you want to run it for. If it's worthwhile, we'll keep going with it. If not, it's up to you. Give them the say. It's their business, right? We're just here to help. We're just here to be another channel for them to get their name out there and grow their business. So that 15%, there's money coming out from that to acquire customers and drive them to the site. And I think at 15%, they'd understand that. What's 15%? I think it's $1.50 off of $20 or something like that. So it costs $1.50, to bring in every new customer or so. Over time, that's going to shorten, and our profit margins will increase. So like I was saying, customers, they're in full control of their deals, their promos, their coupons, their discounts, and they should be. It's their business. And again, we make recommendations with examples of what works. We want the merchant to be profitable at the end of the day. That's what this is all about. If they're profitable and happy, they're going to stick around, and we're going to last a long time. How are we going to gain the repeat business for these guys, right? Something Groupon hasn't incorporated, and I'm not fully understanding why, is, and what I've gathered from people and other examples, credit card stuff like that, people are going to use their credit card when the cash back looks good, right? When the prizes look good, people want to play. So how do you get repeat business? Well, VIP program, offer them exclusive deals, right? Maybe charge them a fee. So VIP customers pay $20 a month, and they're going to get the exclusive deals before everybody else. Make them feel real special. Rewards programs for people that are going to keep repeating, keep cycling back, keep using the marketplace over and over again, keep using the same merchant. They're going to get rewarded for that. Cash back, maybe earn 1-2% on everything they buy that they can then use on the site. Keep them coming back. Loyalty programs. Hey, use the cleaning once, retarget them with some marketing. Hey, we've seen that you had that cleaning last month. Are you interested in another cleaning? One more after this, and you're going to save 20% on something on the marketplace, right? Drive that customer to come back and reuse that merchant. Why is no one doing this? Now, one of the major things too is, Groupon turns away a lot of business that they don't see as. So what they want to do is they want to bring on a merchant that has a set hourly that they can sell an hourly structured product or service at a flat rate and just have a clear cut understanding of what they're going to make. So massage, $80 an hour, it's flat. But what about someone that's like a plumber, electrician, where you don't know, or a carpenter, you don't know what you're going to do within that hour. You can't say $100 to build a house in an hour. It doesn't work, right? It's a high ticket item, if anything. But what you can do is offer these people some ad space on our coupon section or our local services section, where they pay $7 a month flat fee, and it buys them an ad space that looks similar to this on the right, with a bunch of other merch. So you can go in the categories. If you're looking for a welding company, let's say in Massachusetts, and Jay's Welding comes up as one of our top rated service providers, and you click on it, you give them a call. It doesn't cost them anything else other than the $7 a month. We don't take anything else. Now, what this does is it allows us to accumulate some cash flow over time. So how this looks when you have 3,000 businesses on board, that's it's $250,000 a year. That covers a portion of our ad spend. Another cash flow allows us to keep running things, and you can't just have one stream of income, right? We have our merchants that are offering products and services. That's one. Now we need to upcharge through offering other additional products to our merchants. Maybe they want web design, maybe they want something else. We're going to have extensions to that. Our customers that come to the site, they are buying from the merchants. They want exclusive deals. They pay for the VIP program, $20 a month. We pick up a plumber who doesn't offer deals like that, but he wants some ad space. Maybe he's willing to take 10% off the top. We offer him a little thing like just like here, like Jay's Welding. Multiple streams of income need to come in. So that's what I want to allow us to do here. And it's going to keep the cost down for the merchants to keep our commission fees low when we have multiple streams. And what we're painting here is, I was a merchant. I get it. Now, some of you aren't. Some of you are. You have your own you're operating your own businesses, so you understand it, right? Cash flow isn't on your side. Things aren't on your side. So we're for merchants created by merchants. That's what this marketplace is about. We understand small business because we are small businesses. We are small business owners who created this. We get it, right? And if you don't get it, you'll shortly understand by way of my examples, by way of, let's say, Jeff's examples, who's someone else that's on board with us. Raphael's examples. He does freelance marketing now, so he gets it, right? You have to understand who your customer is. You have to understand who the merchants are. You have to have empathy towards their problems and the situations in life, right? Feeding their child is more important than paying for their marketing services. That's the truth at the end of the day. And you need companies that get that. So just some updated slides and visuals of our website here and sort of what I created a quick video I'm sending over to everybody as well. If you want to send it to a prospect and they want to see, how what the user interface is like, what it's like scrolling through the site, what it's like clicking on an offer, etc. They get to have a feeling of that in that quick minute 50 video or something like that. But our site isn't going to be crazy. It's not going to be. I want it to be fast. I want it to be user friendly. I want people to get to the point. They're looking for a specific thing. I want them to make the purchase. I want them to get what they want. I want the merchant to get what they want, and I want to call it a day. That's it. Marketing, right? Now, when it comes to marketing, I'm no expert. What I understand is walking into a business, shaking a hand, making a conversation, closing a deal. Marketing is tough. Marketing is going to be time. Marketing we need money for to really do what we want to do. Also, with the hopeful opportunity to have Nish on board, I think he brings some marketing talent to the table, and I'm hoping we can sort of pick his brain and see where we can go with that and bring a lot of advice and experience to the table for us. So let's hope that works out. I hope you come on board, Nish, and you want to partner with us and hopefully provide some valuable information. I would be greatly appreciated. So how are we going to do this? Social media, right? People are on Facebook. I see every ad Groupon posts, right? So definitely heavy marketing on social platforms, YouTube, Facebook. I'm not sure so much about Instagram, but hey, it doesn't hurt to try, right? Once we acquire a merchant, we're going to ask if we can, if they can provide us some brick and mortar window space to, post a flyer similar to what you see with like Grubhub or Uber Eats, be something very similar to that. I know Groupon does it as well. And then word of mouth, word's going to travel. Customer's going to say, hey, I got this awesome deal on this site. Why don't you check it out? It's cheaper than Groupon. A merchant's going to say, hey, we're getting a ton of business from Udemable. Why don't you guys try this? So that's going to go a long way, and that's going to be extremely helpful. And as our main goal is getting the 200 businesses on board, and then we have to deal with a completely, entirely different beast, and that's bringing on customers to drive traffic and have them make purchases. Right? That's how we're going to make our money. But we have to focus on the goal ahead, and that's right now marketing towards bringing merchants on board. And a lot of that, they oversee marketing, right? They scroll by the ad, they see it as an ad, they don't like ads. So you have to go in and you have to make face-to-face interactions or cold call, cold email, whatever it might be. We're not going to win a whole lot of merchants over by just advertising on social platforms. Now, sales. There's two aspects to this. There's acquiring the merchant, which is an act of sales. We're selling the business to them, and they're accepting their the offer and coming on board. And then they're selling to the consumer. We got to drive traffic. We got to bring them on board, and we got to keep them coming back, making more and more sales. So there's two parts to the process to generate revenue. But at the end of the day, sales is going to drive the success of the company. The more merchants we have means more offers and more variety, which will lead to more customers coming to our site and more users per day. And like I mentioned, sales is two-parted, but we can't do the second one unless we commit to the first one. So we can't make sales or create sales on the site until we have the necessary amount of merchants on board and make this look like a marketplace. We want to launch with 200 merchants, and we want to bring variety, and we want to be, all right, these guys, this is serious. There's 200 merchants on this site. This means something, right? Now we're competing. We launch with 5 merchants on the site. People come. What if they don't need cleaning or dog sitting, or they don't need their car washed? They're going to leave. Variety. And generally, a big focus I want for everyone is restaurants, right? People love to eat. People need to eat. And the more restaurants we have on board, the better. Their margins are typically low. It's super expensive for them to use, Grubhub or other platforms like that where there's delivery involved and they're not making any money. But they're producing reviews, I guess. They're bringing on customers. Maybe they'll come in one day and eat and they'll generate a profit from them. But as it stands right now, they're not making a whole lot of money. I want to say margins on a restaurant probably 20, 30%. But that's a big target because they're always looking for other ways to make money. And they're probably more eager and willing to try their services out. For the most part, any service-based business, cleaning works great. Massage parlors, hair salons, nail salons, other businesses that might not work, construction companies, plumbers, electricians, but they might want to buy the ad space. So we have to understand what we're selling there. We're selling two different things. We're selling the merchant on using our platform to sell through the marketplace, or paying the subscription to advertise on our local services page or our coupon page. Now, this part probably scares a lot of you, which is the script, right? Sales, I'm sure most of you have done phone sales, door-to-door sales. It's not very easy to do, right? It's not. You're approaching a complete stranger. You're trying to sell them a product or service, tell them it's the greatest thing ever, and it's going to help them, and they should just trust you. It doesn't work that way. Not usually, right? Now, for someone like me who I stutter, I have a speech impediment. I don't always articulate things as well as I should, yet I still find success. Some of you are probably very well spoken, and you'll get on the phone and someone will say no, and you'll say, okay, goodbye. Right? Everyone's going to say no. They don't know you. But yet, when a girl says no, you guys keep pushing probably, or else you'd be alone. You work at it. Transition from swiping on Tinder to swiping in real life, and you'll grow your business. But don't overthink this, guys. Worrying about the script, worrying about what you're going to say isn't the important part. It's getting to the point of you hear your first rejection, right? Or your first objection. No, I don't, I'm all set. That's when the sale starts. That's when the process starts. You think going through the script, introducing yourself, telling you what the product is, getting all technical is a script. You can say anything the first 3 lines. You want to get them to say no. That's when the real sale starts. So you can't overthink it, right? You're not selling snake oil to people. You're not selling $800 steak knives. You're not selling a fucking $5,000 vacuum cleaner that people don't generally need, right? You're selling them a service that's going to provide them some value and help their business. So you should get excited about it. You should be eager and honest in your approach. Tell them what they want to know, right? There's no reason to not focus on what the important aspects is and get all technical and wordy and try to sound professional like you're talking to, you're not selling a Fortune 500 CEO that you have to make a huge impression on. You have to talk like you know everything. You don't have to know everything. You can say, I don't know, but I'll find out for you. You're talking to a small business owner. At the end of the day, they want to know if you're going to make them money and if they can trust you. And are you within my budget? And within their budget means free. They don't have a lot of money to spend. They don't want to spend money. They don't understand marketing for the most part, and they don't want to do it. So avoid making it technical. Like I said, they want to know, will this make me money or won't it? They can't heavily invest time or money, right? Every small business owner is sort of like, I don't have the time, because they're probably working by themselves or they have one employee and they don't have the money. They can't invest $2,000 a month on marketing, $3,000, $4,000. We're not targeting those types of, we're not targeting mid-market or Fortune 500 companies. We're targeting small businesses that probably generate less than $100,000 a year, if I'm being completely honest. Every single pitch will come with an objection. Probably 1 out of 50, you'll get a rollover and they'll say, yes, I'm interested. Let's do this. Every single time you're going to hear, I'm not interested. I got to talk to my partner. I got to talk to my wife. I got to talk to my husband. I got to talk to, Wolf of Wall Street. It's funny scene. He's like, I got to, he's got to talk to his wife. He got to talk to the tooth fairy, right? They'll say anything to get you off the phone. They don't know you. And they probably don't like you. You're trying to sell them something. Who are you? How'd you get my phone number? What are you doing calling me? And you want to educate and not sell. And what do I mean by that? The best way to educate is when you get your first objection and you ask a question, right? So let's say you're on the phone and I'm not interested. All right, so you understand. So, I completely understand, John. I can't imagine you would be. You don't know who I am, and that's my fault. All right, always take the blame. Always understand. Always listen, and then ask a question. Well, are you guys doing anything for marketing? Are you using anybody? Have you used Groupon in the past? Ask a question. Most of the time, they're going to answer your question. Most of the time, they'll hang up. But if they answer your first question, you have them. Now, it's about building strong rapport and understanding them and their needs, and then providing them education. Providing them, not selling them on the bells and whistles. You're going to educate them. So what do I mean by that? So you have, I'm not interested. All right, well, hey, John, I completely understand. I don't anticipate that you'd be interested. You don't really know who I am. You don't know what I'm offering. You haven't heard what we can do for you yet. Are you doing anything for marketing this year? Are you using any platforms? Are you doing anything? Are you advertising on social media? And right, I don't fucking know. I don't know the terms and all that shit. Neither does he. He just knows you can advertise on Facebook and you can use Groupon or you can use Google. That's all he knows, and that's all you need to know. Oh no, we're not doing anything. It's just word of mouth. All right, that's awesome, John. Hey, I understand. Like, marketing is expensive, right? It's a tool. It's super expensive, but I mean, we offer a platform where you could do it for free. Now, I don't know if you know this, but we're a direct competitor to Groupon, and they charge their merchants 50% per sale. Now we do it for between 10 and 15, but actually right now we're offering a promo where we'll do it for 7.5% for life. Now, I don't know if that's something you'd be interested in. No, I'm not interested. All right. Well, hey, I can't imagine you would be. You don't know who I am, and it's hard to trust someone over the phone. Is it fair to say, if I stopped by and sort of showed you a little more, would that be something you'd be interested in? I can dive in with you. It's a completely free consultation, just really showing you what it's all about. Now you can send me something. All right. Hey, John, that's completely fair. What's the best email to send that over to? Now he's going to provide you the email. Are you done yet? No. Now, while he's providing you the email and you're writing it down, what you should be doing is ready to counter with the next question. Now, hey, John, as far as the word of mouth goes, how many customers do you think that's driving into your business a year? And he might tell you, he might not, right? Well, he says, I don't know. Sometimes I get new customers coming in, sometimes I don't. Yeah, that's completely fair. I completely understand. John, is it fair to say that, you'd want to see your business grow, or you sort of content where you were at? Do you want to grow? Do you want to expand? Do you want to bring on more employees? Or are you sort of content where you're at, and the next bubble happens and the next financial crisis, are you going to be okay? Now, he might not like that question, but what you just did there is you exposed something that's realistic. And the next financial crash is, are you going to be okay? That's something I would say, because I know how to, sort of get out of that and play with that. Now, not all of you will be able to do that, but what you have to start doing is understanding the questions you're going to ask to get them to start talking to you and open them up. I have my own way. Raf has his way. I'm sure you guys all have your way. Jeff has his way. Now, you need to start figuring out your way, but you need to stop worrying about your approach. Just be honest and provide them the information that they're looking for. So again, here's sort of a little pitch. I'm going to send you over my entire pitch, and then you can tweak it and go about doing it your own way. But, real simple, guys. You're talking to a human. Hi, this is Tim with Udemable. You pause. Is the owner available? You're asking for the owner. You're asking for the person that makes a decision. Maybe they'll say, no, not available. Oh, great. Do you know when there's a better time to call back? Or is there an email I can send some information to? You want to get something, guys. If you can send over some information and then find out when there's a better time to call back, hopefully they get a chance to look at it, and that allows you some time to figure out, how am I going to approach this person? Maybe do a little more research and call them back at the time they suggest. If it is the owner, ask for their name. You're not going to know their name off of Groupon when you go searching and try to find, the company that doesn't provide their name. Ask for their name. Hey, I'm Tim. By the way, what was your name? Susan. Okay. Susan, how's everything going today? Right? Build some beautiful weather outside. Oh, man, fall's right around the corner. I can't wait, right? You don't have to be robotic. Hey, I'm sorry to catch you off guard. I know you're super busy. I'll make this real quick. Are you familiar with Groupon at all? I'm just curious. Right? And they're going to say yes or no. Hey, great. I don't know if you've ever been approached. I don't know if you're currently selling your product or service on there now. Now, you already know that they do. Right? And you already know that they know that they're paying them 50% every time. Well, hey, I don't know if you know this or not, but we're the direct competitor to Groupon, except our fees are like 40% less. I know they take about 50% per sale, and we actually do it between 10 and 15%. But we'll help you get the repeat business rather than just a one-time sale. Now, they know they pay 50%. You don't know that they know, but you assume by saying what you just said. You don't want to make them sound stupid. You don't want to make them look stupid. You want them to openly say, yes, I know that. And you want them to get excited about what you just offered them. You don't have to do anything else any much more, because you know they already use the platform and you know they're paying 50%. And you're hitting with the 10 to 15%, that's going to get them excited, and that's going to get them wanting to know more, and that's going to open up the conversation. So it's sort of like calling a hot lead. They already know you're going to call. You open it up with a quick 2-3 sentence opener, and then it's right to conversation. They might start asking questions. So what's the website? I want to take a look. Send them the link video. They can walk through and show them an example of, like, understand, like, well, we're in early startup phase, and we're early startup phase. Right now we're just trying to acquire businesses, and we have this amazing offer right now. It'll lock you in for life. We'll drop our fee down to 7.5%. No annual fee, no sign-up fee for life. Would that be something you'd be interested in? I know you currently use Groupon. I'm not asking you to stop using that service, but what I'm asking is if maybe you can give us a shot. Our website launches on October 1st, and we're really excited if you'd come on board and give it a try. Cancel anytime if you're unhappy. And you know what? 110% cash return guarantee. So you're not happy, we'll pay you 110% back of what we took from your fees. Let's say you have 3 or 4 sales at 7.5%. We'll pay you back all that money that we took from you if you're not happy, and we won't ask any questions. How's that sound? You're standing behind your product. You believe in it. You're not selling snake oil. It's easy to say these things when you stand behind your product and you know you're going to give it everything you got for these people, and you have the empathy to understand where they're coming from, right? So I'm gonna send you the script, some overcoming rejections, all that stuff there. Spend some time on it. Start getting comfortable understanding Groupon, all the ins and outs and all the downfalls, all the cons, all the pros for them. And then start understanding our competitive advantage, understanding what we do, understanding how we can do it differently, understanding the local services ad spots that are $7 a month, understanding that that's a separate thing from what we offer our merchants on the site if they choose to, provide a massage for $60 or $50 or whatever. That's a separate thing. So start understanding all those things, start breaking that down. Watch this over again, gather the information I said, really break that stuff down, and start really becoming an expert for Udamable and Groupon and any other competitor. Retail Me Not, know what they do, and understand the differences, guys. Understand, you're taking responsibility as an owner, so you need to own it. So your role as it stands, I'm bringing people on that are interested or have in the past owned, operated their own business, have the ownership mentality, wants something that they can sort of take and run with. They don't have to really, start the idea. They can incorporate solid ideas and collaborate together. This isn't a dictatorship here. I'm open to anything, but more or less, I'm not interested in just hearing an idea without some sort of proposal of how we're going to do it. So a lot of times people want to say, hey, why don't we do this? And then I say, okay, great. Well, how do you want to go about doing that? And they're like, well, I don't know. So what that tells me is they want me to figure it out and they want to take credit for the idea. And that's just not helpful. So I want people to start developing the mentality to come to me or come to each other and say, hey, why don't we do this? Great. Why don't we do that? How are we going to go about doing it? And then I say, well, here's what I propose. And then you have something prepared because you spent time on it. And that shows me that you give a shit. People who propose ideas without anything to back it really just tell me that they don't spend any time at it, and they just want to throw something out there because, their ego's in the way. Or they think they have a good idea, but they haven't gone to the pros and cons and analyzed it and haven't broken it down and haven't spent any time on it. So that really doesn't qualify you to take ownership or be a founder. So you need to develop the ownership mentality. You need to take charge. You need to start breaking shit. Okay? Like, you can't come to me every time you have a problem or you don't know how to do something. You need to figure it out. You need to screw up. You need to get a customer to hang up on you, yell at you, tell you they're going to sue you, tell you this, tell you that. You need people to catch you off guard and be like, I don't know, but I got to go back and figure that out. You need to have an idea, run with it, and then figure out it didn't work, and then learn from it, because that is how owners, leaders, entrepreneurs do things, to learn. You can't learn from a book, right? This isn't school. What you're going to learn here isn't going to be provided in material. You have to apply, you have to figure out why it didn't work, and then reapply over and over and over again. And me showing you how to do something or me doing it for you is just you taking on an employee role. And I can't have that. I need you to take it. I need you to break it. I need you to put it back together. And I need you to make it work again. Next is, you really need to own it on the phone or in person. You need to take leadership. You need to be like, I'm in charge. I'm the guy. I'm co-founder of this. I'm VP of this. Take ownership. Don't sound like a salesperson on the phone. You're a founder on the phone. Next, you need to become resourceful. I sort of covered this. You need to start figuring things out, start learning, start breaking stuff, and then find answers to it. Now, what that means is, when you come across a problem, you need to use Google. You need to use resources other than myself or one of your colleagues. It's okay to collaborate. It's okay to ask questions. But if it's something as simple as, hey, how do I do this? Or, what should I say here? You can probably find that yourself. And I want you to figure it out. I don't want you to keep coming to me, asking me what I should do. I want you to figure out on your own, because that's gonna allow you to gain some confidence and really start understanding your role and understanding what you should do. And that goes hand in hand sort of with asking permission. So a lot of times people want to come to me and say, hey, can I do this? Can I do that? Can we do this? Do it. And then when it's broken, come back to me and say, well, I did this. This is how I broke it. Or, hey, this worked. Great. You took initiative. You did it. You completed it. And you solved the riddle. You solved the problem. You brought a solution to the table for the future, something that I probably didn't identify, and you did. Now that puts you in a position to be an asset rather than a liability, rather than be someone that you have to constantly hover over and micromanage. That puts you in a position of trust, and it allows me to trust you, allows your team to trust you, and it allows you to become another resource for somebody else rather than just a sole person. And following that is, the employee mindset won't work here. And that's sort of covering everything I just said. You can't look at this as clock in, clock out. I'll spend a couple hours a week at it. I'll fit it around my time of when I shut the Xbox off and maybe want to look at something. Or I'll look at what Tim sent me next week. You can't see things like that. You can't have the clock in, clock out mentality. You're not sitting there looking at the clock, wondering when lunchtime is. You can't bring that approach here. You have to start. Changes need to be made. And what I mean by that is, if you're the type that, you want to be involved with this project, and you're the type that when you come home, you want to sit in front of the TV for 6 hours playing Xbox or binge watching Netflix or spending time with the girlfriend or planning your vacations. And then the week goes by and you realize you spent an hour at it, and yet you still want to call yourself an owner. You didn't. You had the employee mindset. You didn't want to spend any time at it. You didn't see any value in it. You didn't strive to accomplish anything that week towards the goal. If 60 days goes by and you haven't signed up any businesses for this isn't your thing. You're not cut out for it. So you need to identify that early, and you need to figure out, can this replace my weekends? Can this replace my nights? Can I spend and dedicate the time to it? And if you can, and you come to that solution, you need to let us know now, and then it just makes it a whole lot easier for both parties down the road. Next is focusing on the goal ahead to get ahead. And what I mean by that is focusing on what we need to accomplish within the next 60 days is the only way we're going to get to the next phase. And what that means is focusing on acquiring the 200 businesses that we need on the marketplace before launch to allow us to generate sales and be successful and get to where we need to be as far as from an investor standpoint, and doing what I said I would in my previous meetings with them, and bringing that to the table and accomplishing that. So if we can accomplish that, we're not going to acquire any investing. We're not going to have the successful launch we should, because if we can't stick to the promise and we can't stick to our goal, and we're not going to be successful. Acquiring 50 businesses to sign up is not a difficult task that I handed everybody. So it shouldn't be looked at that way, and it should be looked at as something you can accomplish pretty single-handedly within the next 2-3 weeks, doing the right thing. So what I'm providing with everybody is 60 days to really see if you have what it takes and you can accomplish what you intend to accomplish and what we need to accomplish. If you're not making the calls, if you're not sending the emails, if you're not reaching out to businesses and you're just not putting in the time, this isn't a place for you. If you're coming with me questions all the time, in the beginning I understand, but after like 30-40 days, you're still coming with questions, you're still asking permission, you're still not breaking things, then this isn't for you. If you're not willing to put some skin in the game, you're not investing in time in yourself and things that can help you, investing time and money into the business, you're not a partner. You're not willing to sacrifice. So this isn't for you. So I really want you to go and think about these things, and if it's something that you really can do, you should be doing, or if it brings any value to you and you can see long term that the success that we're going to have, and if you can see yourself being part of that. That's really all I have. I'm going to send an email out with the script. I'll send you over the link to the short video for any merchant that wants to see the user interaction of the site. And I'll send along a few other things too. What I would suggest now is send me an email if you have any questions after you go over this video a few times. If there was something I didn't cover, I can cover it for you. But definitely write down any questions you have, send that over, and we can all review it, and I'll update everybody with another video. All right. Thanks, guys.